My name is John Shelly. I'm at the University of California at Berkeley, and I'm an academic with interests in forest products and woody biomass utilization. And for a good part of my career, I've studied the hardwoods of California. So one of the things I've been quite interested in is actually tan oak utilization. Tan oak is a potential resource for California, but at present it's really not used for much more than niche marketing of some products like hardwood flooring, a little bit for furniture use in cabinets, but it has much more potential than that. It's an abundant resource in the timberlands of the North Coast, and it is currently not being used, and in fact it's often treated as what is often called in the industry as a weed species, where it's an unwanted species in a commercial timberland setting. It's the first species to come in after you harvest some of the more valuable commercial timbers like redwood and Douglas fir, and tan oak will come in quickly and compete with the natural regeneration or the planted trees for the commercial timber species. So finding a use for tan oak could be a valuable tool to the managers of commercial timberland. It's also because of its abundance and no products for really markets for the species. It can also be a problem with creating too much biomass in the forest. There are these trees, particularly ones that are treated chemically on commercial timberland, that stops their growth, but they become a fire hazard and also a vehicle for spreading insect infestations and tree diseases if there's no real use for these trees. So I think finding a market for them is going to help out in that regard. And also because of its vast abundance even in non-commercial timberland, if there is a market for this species, it can help landowners recover some value out of their lands from what is now considered a really low valued species. Yeah, when you combine that with the fact that the demand for paper continues to increase as population increases, we have a well-designed pulp factory, pulp plant in this region. We have it in the heart of an abundant resource to produce pulp to make paper. It just seems like a natural fit for me that we should be using this facility rather than mothballing it or dismantling it, or in worst case, tearing it down. So the demand for paper continues to increase, and yet we're finding fewer and fewer pulp mills in this country, and we're shifting that manufacturing element to often other countries that have less strict rules related to environmental concerns. So I think keeping that pulp mill operating in Northern California makes a lot of sense to me.